last year's RetroGameCon 2013 was incredibly successful for a small word-of-mouth convention. Now that we've moved into 2014, RetroGameCon has begun something that I don't think either of us could have imagined.
Yeah, it was definitely bigger, much bigger. More vendors, more cosplay, the tournaments. I mean, there was even more people there than last year. Just so many more people, so many more things to do, so much more to it. It felt like, to me, it felt like along the scale of like too many games. It felt very big.
Yeah,
it felt very, but still felt like, same way I described last year. It felt like I was in a room with like, 500 and something of my best friends. Well, this year it was like hanging out with like over 1,000 of my best friends in Syracuse. Like, it was amazing. It was so amazing. There was so much to do, so much going on. It turned out so awesome.
I know. I don't think either of us.
Yeah.
Even being on the planning committee and help put it on, and all the rest of us that worked on it too, all together. Like when we saw it in action, we really were like, "Wow!"
Yeah.
So, this is going to be our video recapping the event, and we'll try to cover everything as concise as we can. But there's definitely a lot to talk about, so stay tuned. RetroGameCon 14, like we mentioned already, was a huge increase from last year. But we'll go over all the different things individually that there were that we can think of off the top of our head. And there might be some stuff we're forgetting, but there's just a lot to talk about. So
absolutely.
I think the first thing we can talk about was just how full the floor was. There was a lot more vendors than last year. They all brought a great supply of things. It was cool because, some of the vendors were, had members on the planning committee, and a lot of their influence went into just shaping this con. And that's a good thing about this con, I'd say, is that it's made up of so many members of the community, from gamers to vendors to just create so many great minds. So yeah. I think that was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice this year too, because we were invited to be on this committee. Which it's been great. It's been so much fun reaching out to different YouTube personalities, reaching out to other people we've met on YouTube who might not be as like well known, but just meeting these other great, it's awesome.
For the first time,
very cool. Yeah. Just being on this committee was such a joy, and it was so amazing to be a part of this and help make it grow and help make it what it is right now. And I feel really good about next year. I feel really good about what we can do for next year. The things that happened this year I didn't think would happen. When we asked Angry Video Game Nerd, when we were reaching out to him about, hey, would you come to our con, and we were talking with Mrs. Nerd for a while, going back and forth, I was thinking, he's a busy guy, he's not going to come to Syracuse. And he came to Syracuse. Yeah. It was so awesome. I don't know.
I heard a lot of people thanking him in the line, thanks for coming to our town, it was cool to see that, it shows that, if you ask, then you have a good chance of something happening. If you don't ask, you're automatically, it's a no.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that the seed was planted in our heads early on, like, what, why don't we just go down and meet him, and then we'll ask, because that's what led to him being there. So, first of all, I think, we should definitely thank James Ralph for coming to Syracuse and putting on a great show. He signed for 3 hours.
Yeah,
He was there signing
yeah.
autographs, and the line was in control. It was like it moved along briskly. He got a chance to talk to everybody though, and they got the chance to talk to him, and it was really great because
Yeah.
it moved right along. And we've heard some horror stories in the past of appearances and stuff. So the fact that he gave the okay and said that we were doing it right, him and his wife both said that the event did it the right way. That just felt awesome.
Absolutely.
So he was signing stuff for people, getting pictures with people, the usual stuff. Then he actually got to show his movie. There was it's a 2-hour movie, and he did the showing of the movie down in the panel rooms, which actually opened up into one big room, even though there was 3 of them. So
afterwards, he did a Q&A, which was great.
Really good.
I saw a good chunk of that. I was just totally blown away at he did that. That's all. I don't know. It's just so cool. To me, that's I'm not saying that our con was piddly and small, but it's it's not a Comic-Con yet. It's not a too many games. It's not a MagFest. It's only in its 2nd year, and for a 2nd year convention, that's really amazing. That's so awesome. And if you're watching this, James, thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Yep,
so you made you were
a lot of people happy.
You made a lot of people happy, yeah. So that's good. Making people happy is good. So.
And then I wanted to also thank all the vendors who showed up. I mean, all the local vendors who showed up. Some people who traveled a little farther. The artists, the crafts people, the toy sellers, the comic book store owners, and I mean just everybody who came together to make this great. I definitely wanted to shout out a special thank you to Square Painter and his girlfriend Nina for showing up. We have Square Painters came from too many games.
We've had this a while, but
but they came up the night before. We had dinner with them, and that was really fun. And the fact that our con kind of ended busy con season. There was a lot of cons going on in the fall, and I'm so glad that they were able to make it up. And he had some really great art for sale this year.
Yeah.
We didn't unfortunately pick any up this time, but. Adam, you said you were very happy with the turnout, and we're just so glad to have been able to have you there because, ever since we first met you, when we met James Rolfe, we were like, oh, Square Painter's awesome, I love his work, and you were just so friendly, so we're so glad to have you here, and hope, next year you can come back for
definitely.
year 3, so thank you so much for that. And Nina, it was great meeting you, and the stickers, I got my Earthbound sticker I got from you downstairs. I actually forgot to bring it up here, but
I'm gonna Pikachu one too.
Yeah, so thank you so much for those, and it was definitely great having you there. I think it'd be nice to maybe just talk about some of the other stuff we did. There was panels, just like last year, although we had a lot more. There was a bigger panel schedule, 3 rooms with several panels throughout the day in each room leading up to the big movie showing.
Something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around is we did a panel.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that in my life. I was really nervous. I don't really know why, because most of the people in the room were people that I knew, and like-minded individuals, even if I didn't know them that well. But for some reason I was nervous. I don't know why. I had flashcards, and I kept drinking my water bottle because I'm like, what if they don't like me?
Yeah, and we actually had some technical hiccups with the laptop that we had. The mouse, we didn't find the mouse, it went missing, and then the touchpad on it was broken. But luckily, thank you, Brandon, you came in the nick of time and saved us. But we had a full room. I mean, there was I believe 63 or so was the count of people in the room. It didn't even look like it would seat that many. So just to know that many people sat in was great. So I want to thank everybody who showed up for that. And actually, I want to take a moment to thank some people that we saw there. I want to thank our good friend Oleg, Mr. Syntastic on YouTube. Oleg, it was great having you there again, and it was great having you at the panel, and just we had a great time during and after the event. So thank you, first of all. Scott, Grimsy42, thank you for making the trip.
Get out of here.
I was like, all right, if you want to show up, that's okay.
Loser sat in the front row. He was all excited. Yep. You're sit in the front row. I'm like, yeah, pick on me, guys.
Slouched down in his chair he was like, I don't know what to do in my life. But
no, he was super excited.
We were so happy to have you. It was great, and we know you made a trek right after working along that work. So that was awesome having you there, and I hope you got some fun stuff, and we'll see you in your video, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
But so thank you so much. Thank all my family and friends who were there. It was great having you guys in the crowd for our panel, but it was great having you at the con as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank we had the opportunity to meet some people for the first time at this con, so we're going to shout you out right now. So first of all, Eric, Black and Blue, who tagged us in our tag video. It was great meeting you, and there's a funny story.
Yeah. Well, the night before, we hung out with Square Painter, Adam, and his girlfriend, Nina. And what was funny was, like, when we walked in, the
hotel.
In the hotel that they were staying at, we were meeting them there, and then we were going to, take them out to dinner and stuff. We walk in, and in the lobby, Eric's working, like, the front desk. So we were like, it took, like, a couple seconds to process, like, wait, why does he look familiar?
Yeah.
And then it hit me, and then I was like, Eric, what's up? So that was really cool meeting, somebody else that we've been in contact with for weeks and months and stuff. Cool. So that was fun. Also, we met. Oh my God, we met so many people.
Well, it was cool because Eric, we were planning on meeting you at the con, so the fact we met you the night before was just totally
really
weird.
Cool.
But also met Brad, the two Brads from B Squared Gaming. It was great. We've been watching your videos for a while, and we reached out to each other through Facebook and
Brad
and YouTube. So it was cool to finally meet you guys. That was awesome. Just a great time. Kevin,
yes.
You know who you are. Great meeting you, and we ran into each other so many times.
Oh my God, I know.
So that was really cool. And let's see, who else did we see? Robbie, thank you for coming to our panel, especially. That was really good because we got a chance to talk with you, and it was cool because it's like right before we really talked, like, before the con about, I got to see you there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So really cool.
This particular gentleman doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he still drove from pretty far. He drove from Jersey. Paul.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the support. It was great running into you and meeting you. I met you on Instagram, and that's really the only, like, relationship we've had in communicating stuff. But it was really great cool to see you there, and for you to drive so far and support the con and everything. So
and we saw you went to Voltage Video Games in Manlius the next day and got a few things, so that was really cool. Glad you got to see outside of just the con, got to go to one of our local stores. So
a few of you we didn't get a chance to meet, which I don't know how that happened, but I mean the day just like flew by. Derek, I can't believe I was like standing right next to you. I was totally like zoned out.
Eric helped out with the line for AVGN, and Heath, I believe was your name. You did that as well, so very nice meeting you, and glad to have you guys there to help out, and all the volunteers helped.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody, even people we didn't get to face-to-face meet, it was just great that everybody worked together to pull this off. So
yeah.
So let's see, what else can we talk about the con? I mean, we talked about the panels. Those were great, and there was a ton of variety. You'll probably have or will see some footage of those. We're going to upload our whole panel separately. It may go up before this video, but if not, stay tuned. That'll be showing up as well. I mean, there was just tons of stuff there. There was one of the vendors had a fish tank that was designed like the first level in Super Mario Brothers. So really cool. They were what was it, Fish Fanatics? I believe
Fish Fanatics.
Their name. So
very clever name.
There was a lot of raffles, and all the proceeds from the raffles are being donated to the local Ronald McDonald House of Central New York. That was really great. There was a Street Pass Cafe sponsored by McDonald's where basically when you got your food and you had to sit down in the area, like people had their 3DSs out and were getting Street Passes, playing games. There was a Pokemon X and Y tournament in there. And that's another thing. Tournaments. Salt City Series put on a wonderful tournament. I mean, there was so many people.
There were so many people. I really only made it over to that section of the convention a few times. Because you don't want to mess with those people, man. They were like so many people compacted in a small space, just shouting and cheering. Like it was insane. I was like, okay, I'll back away. But it was awesome. I mean that in a good way. It was just the energy was just awesome.
It was really
Salt
cool,
City did a phenomenal job.
And then there was Play the Game did their Magic the Gathering tournament, and that was like next to the game tournament, and that was fantastic. Just such a great turnout for all the tournaments, and it was really great to have that there. So once again, so many great things. There's going back to the vendors. I want to thank a lot of the vendors for showing up. Obviously all the stores in the area, Micro Game, Player and Trade. We had Voltage there. We had Infinite Lives from Watertown and Oswego. They were there. Got some stuff from there. Pawn Pro, one of the bigger pawn stores in the area, they had a huge setup there. Very nice to have them there.
Gizmos
also
was there.
And, and Gizmos had wrestler Justin Incredible there, actually,
Yeah,
which was really cool. Kind of a later addition to the con. Great to have him there as well. He was a great guy. I talked to him actually when they first got there. I helped him get in, and it was just awesome. I thanked him so much for being there. So thanks again for coming and making the con even bigger and better.
Last couple local places, Clutterducks, which no longer has a store at the moment, but they still had a table of
James
stuff.
and Kate McKay, you're great people, and you helped really put on.
Yeah, definitely. They're part of the committee as well. Also, River City Retro, they don't have a store, but it's an online store. Bunch of other vendors. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I didn't get to
my brain's like mush.
I tried to talk to every one of the vendors, while I was there, but also working the event and trying to look for stuff too. It was it was hectic. But I'll just say for everybody else, all the artists, all the there was like the LARPing group that had like the clothes for the live action role playing. I mean, they were great. So just everybody who showed up, just really appreciate it, and it was great. You'll see from the footage that there was just so much stuff there. So that was great.
Oh, DJ Silence, who did an amazing job. We didn't have music playing before, I think, at last year's con.
Nope, you just heard the sounds in the background.
So that was really added so much to the whole experience, was having, this awesome music, video game themed, of course, playing in the background. He did a fantastic job. So I knew you were, on your feet all day playing and
yep.
stuff. So, dude, you did awesome. You did phenomenal.
Yep.
Are we forgetting everyone?
Well, I mean, I guess just everybody. I mean, we mentioned all the vendors and stuff, but we have to owe a huge thanks to Ed Forth for putting on this event, really starting the whole idea and reaching out to all of us, bringing the committee together and everything.
Yeah.
And Ashley, great. Everything we all did just to make this event work out.
She designed these sweet t-shirts, actually, our RetroGameCon t-shirts.
Yep. Pretty awesome.
So I'm very happy. I'm definitely going to be wearing the hell out of this thing.
Yep, there was VIP bags that we pre-sold. There's 100 of them that sold for $35 a piece. You got a really nice bag with a bunch of goodies in it, and they got this is the staff badge, but they got a VIP badge that I actually designed. I designed the staff one too. But yeah, it was really cool to from my perspective, like to work on things like that to help put the little tchotchkes together and stuff, and it was so cool. So I mean, this last year was amazing, but this year was even better.
This totally blew last year. Like
we want to thank everybody who came out. It was a lot of work to put it together, but it paid off in spades. So it was really, really awesome. And I think that's pretty much all of cosplay. That's the other thing.
Yes.
There was an adult cosplay contest with first, second, and third prize. Yep, and then the kids cosplay. And I'm glad. I knew people were going to dress up, but there was even more than I thought. Like just the amount of people who dressed up.
Last year, I feel like maybe like 4 or 5 people dressed up. There were definitely a lot more. Which was awesome. So,
and congratulations to the winner who went as Elizabeth
oh
from
my
Bioshock
God,
Infinite. She was first place. I believe second place was Dante from Devil May Cry, which his outfit was awesome. He stood out like every time I saw him. And I don't know, I wasn't there to see who got third place. Congratulations to whoever did it. And if anybody knows who got it, then mention it in the comments below, and I'd love to be like, oh cool, and look back. We wanted to definitely thank Amelia Beamish for fantastic photos that when we saw her album, and we'll obviously link to that online and stuff. Amazing work. I mean, just seeing, she really captured the essence. Like, we can just sit here and describe the day and show you footage of the day.
Until you look at the pictures.
But those pictures captured it so well. So great work, Amelia. I mean, it was very nice meeting you, and the work you did was phenomenal. I mean, it's immortalizing that day for us, and we hope to see you back next year. So that'll be fantastic. So I hope the footage spoke for more that we maybe forgot. My voice is a little scratchy still because after the con we went out and celebrated at the J. Ryan's, one of our favorite local bars, because you can sit down and get food and sit down and talk.
Get wasted.
It
was a good time. I drank a lot.
Yeah, but talking over the music definitely ruined my voice.
And
that reminds me, a couple other people I wanted to thank. My nephew Cameron, who is in a lot of our videos. You know, he helped us out. He volunteered. Yeah, he helped us out the panel, which you'll see. He volunteered, which was great. And my other nephew, Tim, thank you for coming. He lives in North Carolina. He made the trip to come up here and see family and enjoy the con.
The one that made it the farthest.
Yeah, he made a huge trip to be here.
That's dedication, man. So Tim,
so thank you for that. And of course, I mentioned the rest of my family who was in the panel earlier, but my nephew Zach was there and hung out with us as well afterwards. That was fantastic, and it was good seeing all of our other friends. And the mentioning the after party that we had reminded me to thank Anthony Rotella, who you had a vendor space there, and I got some things from you. And also, I forgot to mention you back earlier during the vendor part. Yes. So it was great hanging out with you afterwards, of course, but it was good having you there as a vendor.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. You're a great guy, so thank you so much for that.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty much it, I think. I mean, enjoy the footage.
I'd say just look at the footage, you know, or better yet, go to next year's convention, because next year is happening. And it's funny because I'm already so excited to start planning for it and get the ball rolling, and that
the gears are in motion.
That's gonna be here before we know it. I mean, this convention came up so fast that before we knew it, we were like, oh crap, November's here already, and then it's November 8th. Like,
and
it just,
you know, because of how much it's improved over last year. Let us know in the comments and on the obviously on the RetroGameCon page, on the Sprite Lovers page, anywhere you can get in touch with anybody who worked on this.
Exactly, we're on the planning committee, as we mentioned. We want to hear your feedback.
We want to make next year even better.
Exactly. So anything you thought we could fix or change or you know, add on, we want to know. So your input is definitely being paid attention to. We're definitely gonna, you know, scoop up all the information and make something awesome out of it. So if you don't say anything, we don't know.
And there'll be some surprises because our minds are constantly working.
Yeah. So.
But thanks to the rest of the planning committee. You guys know who you are, and everybody else who's watching this, just know that a good group of people came together to put this together, and we hope you enjoyed yourselves. So that's the end of part one. We're going to show our pickups and do a couple more thank yous in the next part. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in part two.